I guess on my hair, she looked alright. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Why so serious? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video, I'm bringing you my second foundation review of the year. If you all checked out my previous one from Juvia's Place, you may have noticed that that video was entirely too long for a lot of people. For me, I like to keep things as detailed as possible for those who like to follow along, but I figured if I already have one out that explains all the steps, all the tips, and all the tricks, there's no point of making every video after that extremely long. If this is going to be a foundation tutorial or review, we should only have to show that part. Everything else, to make it easier for you all, I'm going to jump through, but I will show you what products I am using. And today we are going to be playing with the SurrealSkin Foundation by MakeupByMario. You all know I have been waiting for something from this line to come out to catch my attention. Everything else he's put out so far was like, I want that, but I'm gonna wait on it to come to sale, or I'm gonna go get that, but dang, it's sold out or something. The one item that I knew you was not gonna let sell out, you were not gonna, baby, I had to have it the day it launched. This foundation here, I'm telling you, I got some real strong opinions about her. You all have been watching me wear her for the past few days, and I'm here to let you know, honey. I've been hearing about the hype online. I have not watched any tutorials about it because I did not want my opinion to be tainted. So, if you all would like to know my honest opinion on this foundation, you're gonna have to wait to the end. But if you wanna know how I achieve this gorgeous look, let's go ahead and get into it. Because this is a newer foundation, I still have the box. This is the SurrealSkin Foundation by MakeupByMario. This is the first foundation from the brand. On top of the box, we do have our shade number. My shade is 18W, which stands for 18 Warm. And one of the nice things I like about this packaging, even though it's simple, black, and sleek, I like the fact that they do have the slit right here on the side, which makes it a little easier to recognize if that's your shade or not. Originally, I did think I was 14O, but after seeing it in person, I realized I needed to go a little warmer, and that's how I ended up with 18W. Once inside, we see that the bottle is sleek and simple. My favorite part about it is the fact that it's made out of glass and that it has a pump. And this is what the pump looks like, just in case you were wondering. Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and get things started. As with all tutorials, all tools and products used will be in the description bar below. Make sure you check out there if I forget to mention anything. Also, please forgive me for acting a little nervous today. Although I'm not really worried about how my makeup's going to turn out, I'm worried more about how this video is going to turn out. Because in my previous foundation tutorial, I'll leave that linked up here above. That was the Juvia's Place Radiant Foundation. I made sure I broke everything down, and I believe that video was well over an hour long. From now on, I just want to make sure I do the jump cuts through everything and only show you all a full detailed application of the foundation. That way we don't have to be here for an hour or anything. It can still give you a full detail of the foundation, but things like applying blush, mascara, I don't need to have you all sitting there walking through that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started step by step. So the first step for me is applying lip balm. This is the Paula's Choice lip balm. I usually just take and apply this with my finger. Because this is a personal one, if this were one for clients, I would use a spoolie or something, but we're just gonna go ahead and get her on. Then we're gonna go ahead and use my Shiseido lash curler to get these started. And although we're gonna keep the eyes simple, I'm still gonna prep things, so we're gonna start off with our MAC paint pot. And we're gonna set that with a colorless powder. And I've already decided, anytime I do a foundation look, we're gonna keep the eyes nice and simple because I want the skin to be the star of the show. So, even though I'm not the biggest fan of warm tones, we're gonna start things off with a large fluffy blending brush, and this shade here, Burnt Orange. Then we're going to take a smaller blending brush and deepen up the crease with this shade Sienna, and we're also going to put Sienna on the lid. Now we can put eyeshadows to the side because it's time to get to the face. For primer on the sides of the nose, I'm going to use the Becca Evermatte. For all over the face, we're going to use the Maybelline Master Prime. And now for the star of the show, the foundation. I want you all to see this because, baby, I got some opinions on this. I'm going to put this on the back of my hand. I'm going to take and put 2 pumps here. I want you all to pay attention to everything I do during this. First, I'm going to take my finger and apply all 2 pumps of this to the face. This is to let you all see, 1, the shade match, and 2, the type of coverage I get with this much product. I like to try to spread it all over the face. And just so you all know, I am somebody who likes to wear an excessive amount of makeup, honey. Even when I try to go for a soft, natural look on myself, baby, I am piling and caking it on. Okay, I want you all to see the back of my hand barely has anything there. We're going to clean off our finger on the brush and also grab any product that may be there, because you know your brush is going to absorb, so might as well go ahead and get this excess here. Now, what I want you all to see is, 1, how fast I can blend this out, and 2, how nice this shade match is. You can already look and tell based upon my skin that that looks like that'll be nice, but I want to make sure I grab me a mirror. And once again, I have 2 full pumps on, so I want you all to look at this. I'm somebody who usually likes to start around the bed area because that's where I need the most coverage. I'll come up, press it up until the under eye, get the cheek, and so far you all can see that this color is looking beautiful, and you can tell without me even turning my head all the way that this foundation is coming off with a glow. On this side, get that mustache, because baby, we can't forget her. Forehead. Oh, and baby, lately I've been calling it a forehead. I am so surprised, but I'm telling y'all, I've had a big forehead my entire life, and I've always called it a 5 head. We gotta get right here. That's usually one of the hardest spots to get for me, because I always use a big old brush, and I have a low hanging hairline. But I don't let that stop nothing. Get the nose. And I want to also get the neck. As you see, I bring that down here too. Now, once again, I use 2 full pumps. And before we go any further, I want to bring you all a little closer. I want to make sure I blend out everything. I don't want to have no brush strokes or nothing, because I want y'all to see exactly where I'm going to take this next step. I want y'all to see everything. And now that I got this blended, I can use the big mirror right here. And you all see, she blends like a dream. When I'm sitting here doing like this, I'm not seeing brush strokes or anything. So I'm like, okay. In my personal opinion, I think this foundation only builds up to medium coverage. I've been seeing a lot of people say this builds up to full for them, and I'm like, full where? So let me show y'all why I say that. Let me come a little bit closer, and you all see, I am someone who has the 5 o'clock shadow. And right here, you can still see it peeking through, like right here on the chin area, right here. My 5 o'clock shadow is not gone, and I also have an acne scar right here on my forehead. I'm not sure if she's peeking through right now on camera, but I can see her. So what I like to do, simply because I feel as if I need a little more coverage, I want to make sure I go in, grab 1 more pump, because I want you all to see something. Gonna take and put a whole nother pump down, and what we're gonna do with this pump is I want to take this and build this up in the areas where I feel as if I need a little more coverage, which for me is the acne spot right here, as well as my entire 5 o'clock shadow area, because if I'm gonna wear foundation, I mean, I might as well cover that up. That's usually how I feel. We're gonna wear a beard, we can just wear a beard. So I've loaded my brush up and I want you all to see. I'm gonna start taking this and just pressing it in before I blend it into the goatee area. Just so I can see and know for sure that that's where that product has gone. Also, gonna take some of that right here on the front of the forehead, right there over that acne scar. Okay, I can barely, like, I don't even really see it no more. I see the foundation I put on top of it, but I want you all to watch as I blend this in, because you see, I just basically took that and slapped it on, and we're just gonna mix it in. And you can see with that second layer there, she's offering more coverage, but she's still not thoroughly covering the 5 o'clock shadow. But she's definitely buildable. She's definitely blendable because she's still not looking cakey. So that's a beautiful thing about this foundation, is you can slap her on. I want to make sure I blend this in before I give you all that look of it the second time, just to make sure we don't have any harsh lines or anything, because you all know I'm always going to try to make any and every makeup product look as good as I can. I want you all to see this now. And you can see how this time she truly looks like she's covered a lot more of my 5 o'clock shadow. You all see the glow on the skin. You all see that forehead mark is covered. So what I want to do now is go through, finish my makeup routine, and I'm gonna explain in the end, one, why I went through that step of putting on a second layer, and two, what my final thoughts on this foundation is, because trust me, baby, she got her pros and cons, and you're gonna want to hear this. For concealer, we're gonna use the Too Faced Born This Way. And I want to set everything with powder. This does contain Sacha Buttercup Light, but it is a mixture of other powders. I'll leave that in the description bar below if you want to know what's inside. Just realized I need to make a correction. Normally, I will bake all my highlighted areas, which is the same as today, but I'm going to use that exact same powder and set all the rest of the face. I know I said set the first time, but baby, you know I'm too good at it. I love baking. And because I am a sweet little treat, honey, we gotta let this sit here and bake for a minute. So when I come back, I'll have already dusted things off and we'll jump to the next step. To help sculpt the face, I'm gonna use a contour powder. This is the shade Subconscious by KVD. For blush, I decided to dig into my cabinet, pull something out that I know they don't even make anymore. This is the Too Faced Sweetheart's Perfect Flush Blush. Baby, when the last time y'all seen this packaging? This is the shade Something About Berry, and I got her simply because she had those 3 different tones. We're just gonna swirl her together, put a little bit on her cheeks, and be right back. For finishing powder, we're gonna use 3 different colors. I have the Laura Mercier Candle Glow powder in shades 1, 2, and 3. 1 is gonna go underneath the eyes, 2 all over the face, 3 in the contoured areas. For mascara primer, we're going to use the Lancome Cils Booster XL. And for mascara, I'm using the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes by Charlotte Tilbury. This is a sample, but I've been loving her. For brows, I'm going to be using the Lip Bar Pencil in the shade Arch-Nemesis. And we're going to lock those in with the ABH Clear Brow Gel. For the lower lash line, we're going to use our Urban Decay pencil in the shade Whiskey. To highlight my inner corners and brows, we're going to go into this shade here, Tempora. To highlight the face, I'm going to use So Hollywood by ABH. For lip liner, I'm going to use Chestnut by MAC. And for gloss, just because I have it right here, I completely forgot to get up and grab me a lipstick, and we're not moving right now. So we're gonna use the Lunar Beauty lip gloss in the shade Dreamy. Baby, and I don't care how big a doe foot is or how much gloss comes off, with these huge DSLs, honey, I always dip 3 times. Because baby, yes ma'am. And I'm trying to make sure I ain't forget anything, because baby, we done put in all this work, but ain't no point in doing all of that unless we're gonna lock it in. So grab your setting sprays, because you know I'm about to grab mine. And you all know the routine. Let's go ahead and get it started. Fix Plus to give us a glowy dew. All nighter so things will last all day. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. I'm going to give this a few more moments to try, and I'll be back and give you all my final thoughts. And here's the final look. I want to go ahead and give you all a full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm here to tell you all, this foundation looks absolutely beautiful. I'm quite sure you all are sitting back looking like, hunty, we saw what that thing looked like at first. We saw what you was talking about, but it all comes down to one thing. Torrence, do you recommend this foundation? Yes or no? And I'm going to have to let you know, baby, this is a hard one. Because I feel as if with most products, especially eyeshadow palettes, unless you create them yourself, chances are it's going to be something about a product that you just do not like. Makeup is not perfect, neither is the people who create them. And so I just feel as if everything has its pros and its cons. And based upon those, it's going to determine whether you think this foundation is truly worth it or not. If I was just forced, like arm pulled behind my back, and it was just told, Torrence, you have to choose an answer, yes or no, I'm gonna go with yes. But the reason why it's so hard to make that decision, we're gonna get into it now. First off, pros. Glass bottle with a pump. I'm not sure about you all, but with me, my absolute favorite foundation so far of all time is the NARS Sheer Glow. She comes with a glass bottle, but unfortunately, you have to buy that pump separately. But I find the formula so beautiful that's never bothered me. The first time I bought her, I did, but I've repurchased that foundation so many times that the fact that the pump is sold separately, I always forget that most brands sell it with it, and that's something that it usually should come with. So that's a pro. Another pro I'm going to say is the shade range. I went in store, checked things out, and it looked like the shade range was absolutely beautiful. Based upon the colors online, I really thought I was shade 14-0. Got in store, was able to check out 18W. And although at first I was looking at it like, baby, I'm not sure what that color gonna look like, she turned out fabulous and it was my perfect shade. But I truly do believe if I was to pick up 14-0, she may look light or bright on my complexion, but with my talent, I would be able to make her work. What is another pro? That's the main thing I want to get into. Depending on what your skin texture is like, it depends on whether this next thing is a pro or a con. And the reason I say that is because if you look at my skin here, baby, let me get up closer. You see how although right here underneath the eyes and everything, that area looks smooth, she looks beautiful, she looks amazing. But when you get right here to my 5 o'clock shadow, to me it feels as if, and it looks as if, things are a little more enhanced right here, especially on the chin area where it seems like the hair grows in the fastest. It grows in a little slower right here on the sideburn area, and so I feel as if that has a little more coverage. But the crazy part about it is the biggest con of this foundation is the fact that this contains sparkles in it. And on the skin itself, it looks absolutely beautiful after you set it. Anywhere where there's hair, if you are a man with a 5 o'clock shadow, what is it? If you just a man with a full beard. Me, I'm somebody who goes straight in and covers the entire face. And because of that, I want you all to check out this clip right here. Before we go any further, I wanted to make sure I stopped and got a clip of this area right here. I've just got through removing my baking powder, and I want to see if you all can catch this. Remember, we did a completely matte eye look because I didn't want any chance of there being any sparkle or anything, but I wanted to show you that this foundation does contain some reflective particles. They are extremely, extremely fine. I don't think they will cause any issues or anything to the skin. I have acne, I've worn it for well over a week and I've had no issues. But the thing is, even after baking, I'm not sure if you all are going to be able to see this. I want to be able to see if I can come closer where you notice this foundation still reflects and contains light. Like, I'm not sure on camera you all are going to see this, but if you were in conversation view right now, you would still see all of those very fine micro sparkles. The very first time I tried out this foundation, I did a multi-chrome eye look. And so I was sitting back wondering like, okay, Torrence, these eyeshadows have a ton of fallout. But it wasn't until I tried another one that I realized, wait, you're seeing the same thing. That's when I realized it was never the eyeshadows before, it was always this foundation. And the crazy part about it is, if you look right now in the beard area, you don't really see it. To me, what appears to be peeking through is the actual 5 o'clock shadow. So that's one of the weird things I noticed is before I go in and set everything, I don't see it here at the 5 o'clock shadow area, but I do see it right here on the skin. So let's go ahead and get back to our tutorial. And with me showing you all that, you can see how before you set everything, the glitter is noticeable here, but not here in the beard. After you set it, it's not noticeable here, but it's very noticeable on the beard area. And so that's the biggest con to me is these reflective particles look absolutely beautiful on the skin, but they look terrible on the hair. If you are someone like, what are two popular makeup artists I love watching? Wayne Goss, Robert Welsh. When they do their foundation, they are usually putting it on the skin and skipping the beard area. So I believe someone like them who were to use this foundation, it will look fabulous on them. And I know I still got to watch Robert Welsh foundation review. The thing is, I did not want him to take my opinion, so I haven't seen his. But for me, when I'm going to go and cover my entire face, I just find that this looks absolutely stunning on camera. But in person, the one thing I'm always worried about is this starting to show up on the chin? Oh, the biggest pro about this foundation is the fact that no matter how much you put it on, it never looks cakey. You all saw I put 2 pumps across my entire face. I have really, really large features. I'm a 6'1" black man, so nothing about me is small. I have big hands, a big face. I'm really tall. Like, where's something you all can see for comparison? The Too Faced Born This Way concealer is really large. I can fit that right here on my lid and still have plenty more space. So that shows you just how much coverage and how much product I may need to cover my face. So if 2 pumps covers my entire face, I'm quite sure 2 pumps will cover anybody else's. But to know I went in with that 3rd pump to cover the beard and you can still see her there, lets me know anybody who's not trying to cover their beard or anything, or anybody who does not want anything that looks cakey, will love this. This foundation would be absolutely beautiful for my best friend Chanel. She's always talking about how she wants something that looks like skin. I believe this will do it. She always wants something that isn't going to look cakey on camera. I believe this will do that. She doesn't have a 5 o'clock shadow or PCOS or anything, so this isn't something she has to worry about getting on her facial hair or anything. So for her, this would be absolutely perfect. The only thing she may not like, because you know you can't skip over it, is the fact that she is $42. And for most people in the makeup world, chances are, if you're used to buying high-end foundations, things like ABH, NARS, what's some more over there I got some Bobbi Brown, things like that, Fenty and all of that. That $30, $40 mark isn't too high. If you're somebody who's used to either drugstore or just getting into foundation, $42 may seem like a lot, but knowing that you can pick it up in Sephora and if you don't like it, you can return it, I say she's truly a win. The thing is, the absolute biggest con, because we can't get over it, I'm going to say it once more. If you have facial hair and you like to put your makeup over that, skip her, honey. Don't go for her. I think she's beautiful. As somebody who likes full coverage, this medium has been fabulous. You see, I'm sitting here going back and forth like, baby, the glow on her is insane. But my facial hair says I can wear her on camera. I would not wear this in person. Well, not again, because I have been wearing her all week. But I like her enough to go ahead and keep her. I'm not going to return her, even though I could and get my money back and get something else. What's up, you guys? Torrence jumping in. Wanted to add a little extra to it because it's the end of the night and I'm editing this video for tomorrow, and I realized I never gave you any information about the longevity of this foundation. And that there is the main reason I am keeping it. When I tell you I am somebody who has acne prone skin, I have oily skin, because of my acne medication, sometimes I do get some dry patches, especially on the eyelids, and sometimes I have to treat my makeup like this combination, but usually I can still stick to my oily skin things. The thing is, I have never had to touch up this foundation no earlier than the 6-hour mark. So I feel as if you have normal skin or dry skin, I really believe this is going to last all day with no issues. I haven't watched any tutorials or reviews or anything on this foundation, but I did get a sneak peek at a short from, I believe, Morgan Turner, where she said she loves this foundation. She has dry skin and it lasts all day on her, and I truly believe it because, like I said, with me, it's usually between the 6 and 8 hour mark, and I believe the earliest I ever do, I believe the earliest I ever had to do it was the 6-hour mark, and I was out celebrating with family, so it's like on a normal chill sit back day, I know this is going to last all day, which is why you see it's the end of the night and we still looking good. So chances are I'm about to go ahead, add this final little clip, format this video, go to sleep, and see you all tomorrow. So love you. This is a foundation where I truly feel as if the only thing I'm mad about is the fact that I have facial hair and I wear, and I just think she's going to look good in other things. So I'm going to make sure I keep her, because if my sister comes over and she wants to test her out, I would rather her just use my bottle than go out and buy a whole nother bottle. We already have enough waste in the world. We don't need that. But I really feel as if I've just been rambling, going in circles, talking back and forth all over myself. So I truly hope you all did enjoy this tutorial. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below letting me know how you all like this new style of foundation reviews. It's a lot shorter than what I'm used to doing, but with the video being so much smaller, not only can I get the video up and out a lot faster, I could potentially get more foundation reviews done in a month. If I have to do them my original way, which I don't mind for you all, I just probably won't be able to get as many of them out because those are very time consuming, not only to record, but also to edit and process on my laptop. But I want to make sure I get this video up for you all because right now it is just before 5 o'clock on Thursday, the 26th. I want to make sure I talk to my sister again because today's her birthday. I also have a 7 o'clock live going up for you all. You all should be seeing for the first time the ABH Soft Glam palette. I made sure I recorded that yesterday because I knew I wanted to use it today to keep things simple. But we got that done. We got another video out. And what I also want to remind you all is on Saturday, I'm going to try to get another video out. I'm going to try to get up that Juvia's Place Blush Rose palette. The subscriber of the month chose that palette, and I did not want this month to go out without her getting hers up. I also, since I pushed this out from last month, I wanted to make sure I get that out. But the best way to get everything done is to cut this camera off and start my editing. So with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.